All right, boss. All right, what's today? The ninth, August 9th, field report. Checking in. This is David Haslin. All right, so here's what's going on. Boss, first of all, Frank, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I sincerely and truly apologize. I love it here. Thank you for sending me here. This has been amazing. So, first of all, I don't want to hear a word about me ever being stubborn again. Do you know what this place is, Frank? Do you know what this place has done? Look, I'm going to tell you what this place has done. Look, about 50 years ago, they had a flood, all right? And not just, oh, there's a little bit of water in the basement. No, they had like one of those, we got third story windows underwater floods in this river valley. All right, from a hurricane that didn't even come close to them. Anyway, a horrible flood. Now, most people, smart people, would have gotten the hell out of Dodge. And I get that. I ain't a smart people, and neither are they, and I appreciate them for that. Look, not only did they try to rebuild their town, all right, they took some precautions. I'll give them credit. They built some dams and they built some dikes, and that's cool, right? Like, I approve. I appreciate that. Frank, in the middle of town, they put a plaque. They call it the Citizens Cascade Plaque. Cascade, like water falling from the flood. And this plaque is so glorious, Frank. This plaque reads, "This is our hometown, and nothing under God is going to take it from us." My God in heaven, I love this. These people are stubborn. I love it here. And you know what else I love it about here? This place is a freaking cornucopia of things to shoot. Look, I've been doing some research. This place used to be a railroad hub. It's a Rust Belt town now, and it's dead, but it used to be a railroad hub. It used to be a canal district, right? Like steamboats passing through here to actual cities that matter. And then, God, you got so many different cultures in this little town. And now that there's a tear somewhere around here, it's bringing all their cultural creatures to life. Frank, I got to shoot a bow. Do you know what that is? That is a Lithuanian or Italian, like one of those little Eastern European boogeymen. They got long arms, red eyes, teeth. Man, my great grandmother used to scare the Jesus out of me with one of those. Talk about how it's gonna come get me if I don't eat my broccoli and stuff. Look, I got to shoot it in the face. It's been a great day. Been a great day. All right. All right, we're going to stop right here for a minute. I'm going to collect myself. I'm going to get all professional because I am a professional. We went over this. And then I'm going to give my field report, all right? All right, this is the official field report, August 9th, 2023. So, after meeting with local PD, including Chief of Police Stevenson, Esme and I decided we were going to focus our efforts on the Nathaniel Green High School. This was being converted into a series of apartments, which I don't think is a good idea, but that's neither here nor there. Upon arrival to the apartments, we discovered that they were about a quarter finished. You know the drill, lots of half torn down walls, bare wires. Power was running to the place, as were utilities. We initially saw evidence of some squatters. We didn't see any of the squatters in there when we was looking. Esme did talk to some of the locals in the housing apartments around. They did mention some missing kids, well as some strange sights. One of them kept mentioning moving shadows, which I'm going to get to that later, Frank. Alright, so we went in. I went in with standard loadout. I also included some flares, and Esme came in with what she had. Together, both of us began exploring the complex. We'd been in there about 3 minutes, began hearing some skittering around. There's definitely a tear in the area. Turns out it wasn't in this building, but there's definitely one in this city somewhere. First contact ended up being what used to be a pack of rats. They were mutated, Frank. I don't really know how to explain it beyond that. Pretty standard. Tumors, pus. They were about 3-4 times the size of a normal rat, about the size of a large cat or small dog. I had to be careful with them. First two I popped, they exploded, and radius was about 5 feet or so, a spray. Didn't get on any of us. However, it did start pitting the concrete and the cement used in the building materials. So, in future reference, if we see any more of those, or if you send people to follow up on us, they need to watch out for that. One of them had actually begun digging into the cement, popped out of a tunnel. Only went about 3-4 feet deep, but if we'd been closer to it when it attacked, it might have gotten a bite out of us. I would like to give special credit to Esme. The girl, she's brave. You know I don't like speaking good of the Vivictus, but I'll give her credit where it's due. She took point, her sword and that shield, and stalked through those hallways like the goddess of vengeance herself, man. Anyway, I'm being professional. Priestess Esme handled herself well. She was a credit, and I would officially like to make sure that half of my bounty from the heads we sending in makes it to her account. She's earned it. Alright, official note being said, I keep wanting to call it a hotel. I don't know what it is anymore. Anyway, this apartment complex, who turns a school into an apartment? This apartment complex, professional. This apartment complex was 3 stories, and it's still 3 stories. It still is. First one we went through, we kept hearing this weird whispering sound. Couldn't really explain it. It was always just out the corner of your ear, you know? Couldn't really get a firm grasp on what it was saying. Very creepy. Kind of fun. So, we stalked through the first floor, found 3 of those rat packs, also found a couple other mutated animals. One of them I'm pretty sure used to be a woodchuck. That thing hurts, Frank. Anyway, being professional. All pretty bog standard. Esme held them off while I pumped a few rounds into them. In the future, much as I love a shotgun for point work, we may want to rely on pistols for some of these things, especially if they're going to be exploding like that. I'd also request, I'm going to be talking to the morning after, since this is their territory, about getting a spear based off the old boar spears from back in the day, something like that, just to help keep these things off of us. Way too many of these things use swarm tactics. We got through the first floor, we went up to the second floor, that was almost empty, cleared it. It was in the basement where we started having real fun. About 20-30 feet into the basement, we came across some already killed animals. We didn't find any of the missing children, but it would not surprise me in the least if they had been there, Frank. Yeah, look, I'm trying to be professional, I am, but local PD was notified. We didn't find any bodies or anything, but yeah, Frank, if I mentioned I love killing babaus, that is my new favorite hobby, man. Anyway, professional. We went through the basement. We ended up discovering power was still running, like I mentioned. And as we got further in, the whispering came more intense. We, about halfway through, we started getting taunted by the babau. It didn't identify itself as such, but we identified it later. The thing can teleport between shadows, kind of like jumping. This thing, look, I'm a taller guy. I can reach out 3-4 feet, no problem. This thing was reaching arms out 15-20 feet. You gotta be careful with that thing. And its claws, when I get back, I'm requisitioning a new shotgun, man. That's why I carry 2. It sliced through that thing like it was a twizzle stick, man. It's got claws. First couple shots, swear they bounced right off it. Esme, God bless her evil soul. I don't know if she discovered or so. Anyway, whatever. She saw some construction equipment laying off to the side, including a full tank of gasoline. This woman poured it on her sword, wrapped some cloth around it, and lit it on fire. Babaus, it turns out, do not like light. That is very good information to know. After the light hit it, it screamed in pain. She didn't even hit it with the sword. I want to be very clear on that. This was just from the light. I'm going to be sending an official request in the morning from the library, to the library, to find out exactly what was going on. But those things do not like light, and its claws seem to I can't explain it, Frank. It almost seemed like it was melting as soon as the light kicked. So she held it at bay. I pulled out my second shotgun and I started laying into it. Once it fell, I tossed a couple flares onto it just to be sure. And I don't think it's coming back, Frank. We ended up clearing the place. We're going to do some more research in the morning over the next couple of days. Like I said, there's a factory we want to check out. There's an office building I want to check out. Yeah. I have a meeting tomorrow with the morning after. I'm going to talk more about that when I can. At this point, this is David Haslin, signing off. Alright, David Haslin, addendum. Code Whiskey Foxtrot Alpha 956251. Alright, Frank, this is a conversation for you and me. This ain't official. We need to talk. I'm getting a real bad feeling about this, Frank. Like I said, I got a meeting with the morning after tomorrow. This is their backyard, Frank. Alright, it's the first thing. This is their backyard. Literally, their headquarters is about 4 miles across the river on the other side of town. I haven't seen a single morning after agent since coming up to this place. Now, I get they have worldwide operations just like we do, but you can't tell me if a tear opened up in Longview, we wouldn't have that place swarming before any other organization found out about it. That's the way this works. We all know what's on the other side of these things, can be on the other side of these things. Nobody wants to let another organization access to that if they can help it. Not when it's, right here at home. So why, in the name of God, are the first two respondents to this thing me and some priestess? It doesn't make sense, Frank. I'm not accusing you of setting me up, right? I want to make that clear. I ain't accusing the morning after of setting people up. Not yet, but something about this is not right in the least. And I'm not accusing the priestess of setting us up. She seems like a good kid. She's kind of naive, but a good kid. And God, speaking of her, look, I know you're going to take everything I say about the Vaevictus with a grain of salt. And you should. I do not like them. I make no bones of that. They are zealots, Frank. I do not like zealots. But good God almighty, Frank, I'm worried. Standard operating procedure for us. Have 2 go bags with you at all times, right? If you're staying in temporary quarters, you keep one in your temporary quarters. And if you got a vehicle, you keep one in your vehicle. Because things could go down. You never know when a mission's going to come up. You may have to bug out quick. And that's the point of a go bag, to be ready to, go. I showed up. And I'm not even the best prepared. Some things, I go a little overboard on, I get it, whatever. But this girl showed up with a sword she said was an heirloom, okay? And I'm not going to go off on the sword again, I promise. But her sword, a SWAT-style riot shield, alright, street clothes, alright, and a few pieces of armor that she clearly cobbled together. Right, they're in good repair and all. Give her credit where it's due. They in good repair. But that's it. That's it, Frank. No grappling hook, no line, no cable, no duct tape, no food, no bag of spare clothes. Like that's it, Frank. Like, she didn't have anything. And I was serious what I said in the official report. She's brave. All right, I think she could be one of us with some training. But is that how the Vaevictus train their new people? Seriously, we need to have a talk about them, because if that's the way they're gonna send their newbies out, man, we need to give serious thought about working with them. And again, take everything I say with a grain. I know you will, right? But this is dangerous, Frank. You know that just as well as I do. How many of our good teams have lost limbs and lost people when they were fully prepared and ready? We can't afford to send half-assed kids, excuse my language, out into deadly battle. We can't do it. You gotta be prepared for this. And she wasn't. And she gave me some line about being on vacation. I'm on vacation. That's why I only have the 2 shotguns. And again, this ain't a personal attack against her. She said she's experienced. She said she's dealt with tears before. I don't want to call her a liar, Frank, because that ain't right, and I can't prove it. And she's smart, I'll give her credit, and she's brave. But there's just something, like, if you told me she was just some scared kid pretending,
and she'd never actually seen a tear before in her life, I'd argue, but I wouldn't argue that hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I think we need to take a serious look at their organization, because if this is the level of training they give their new people, I think we should seriously look at absorbing that organization before people get hurt, or doing something we can legally to make them not an organization, because this is serious business, Frank. I hate to say it like that, but you know me. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I drink too much. I have fun when I shouldn't, with who I shouldn't. I get it. I'm not exactly the model citizen, but I have never willingly put my team in danger due to naivety. And if that's what this organization is doing, Frank, I'm sorry, boss, but I don't feel comfortable with this. We'll talk more later, probably after I get us on a warning list or something for talking to the morning after tomorrow. Again, this addendum is for your ears only. Alright.